Hey, what's going on? So, I just wanted to quickly talk about Representative-elect George Santos of New York's 3rd Congressional District. So, there has been a revelation by the media that he lied on his resume. He lied about his education. He lied about his family background. He lied about his employment history. In response, he said that he did not lie. He simply embellished his resume. Um, he had previously stated that he graduated from Baruch College and that he received an MBA from NYU. Both colleges have stated that they have no record of him ever even attending either university. There was also a report that he had wrote some checks in Brazil, where his family's from, and that there was an open investigation about that matter. There was also him mentioning that he worked for both Citigroup and Goldman Sachs. Both companies have stated that he was never employed by them. He has turned around and said that he did not work directly with them, but his company worked alongside them, and he has chopped everything up as a simple embellishment of a resume. So here's my take. There's a big difference between embellishing a resume and lying. Okay, so an embellishment, for example, is, let's say, for example, if I say that I served in the military and that I was in a combat zone and that I faced enemy fire, but in reality, I was in the military, but I was not in a combat zone, or I was simply, working in a galley in Afghanistan, but I never faced any fire, and I said that I faced fire. That's embellishment. You did serve in the military and you were in Afghanistan, but you were not in any sort of combat role or danger of facing fire. Best example for that is another congressional candidate in Ohio named J.R. Majewski, who served in the military, during the height of the Afghanistan war in, I believe, the Air Force, and he alluded and implied that he was in a combat zone, when in reality he was dropping supplies to individuals who were in combat zones, and he would fly back to Qatar, which is way far away from any sort of enemy fire. So he did serve, right? So he served, but he was never in a combat zone, or he was never in any sort of danger to be in any sort of harm. So that's what I would call an embellishment. In other words, you plumped up your resume a little bit, but you didn't go all the way to just saying that you did X, Y, and Z. Okay, you plumped it up. You might have juiced it up a little bit. Okay, or saying, and this is something I've done before. I've said that I have an associate's degree. Now, in my resume, I've put that I've had an associate's degree, even though I've never actually received the paper, but I have enough credits. In other words, I had, say, 60 credits of college, 60 college credit hours, but I did not attain my associate's degree. I might have changed the major, something along those lines. So, but I put that I had an associate's degree, which technically was not true. Okay. I embellished my resume because, on one hand, I did a lot of college coursework, but I never actually attained the actual paper. And just in case anybody's wondering why I'm wearing a headphone with a mic and I got the mic here, is because I'm actually on a lunch break at my actual regular job. So I work at a call center, so that's why I'm wearing this. But I'm not on the clock at my regular job, just so everybody knows. But There's just, and saying that he worked at Goldman Sachs when you really didn't, dude. Okay, come on. Look, I'm not even a fan of Tulsi Gabbard, but she did a great job at interviewing George Santos. He really needs to just step aside and either run based on his actual resume and based on his actual bio, or step aside for somebody else to better represent that district. Republican or Democrat, does not matter. It just has to be somebody who can better represent the district in an honest way. I don't see, and it's a weird dynamic right now because Kevin McCarthy needs every single vote in order to become speaker, so he cannot lose a vote. And Santos has already pledged that he has McCarthy's vote, and he has not a single margin to give up any votes. So I don't expect McCarthy to say anything. I don't expect Elise Stefanik, who is in the House Republican leadership, who's also from New York, to really say anything. At worst case scenario, there might be an ethics investigation. There might be possibly, they might not, have him sit in any sort of committees. But as far as any actual sanctions, I don't see how there's anything legally that can be done. Because, quite frankly, believe it or not, lying on your resume, while it's not honorable, it's not a criminal offense. But the difference is that in Washington, you can still keep your job if you lied on a resume. If me and you lied on our resume and our employer found out, we will get terminated immediately. Unfortunately, that it doesn't happen like that in Washington, which sucks, but it is what it is. That is my take. There's probably not gonna be anything that's gonna actually happen to Santos, but his district is gonna have to make that call in a couple of years. In the meantime, he's gonna collect the $100-something thousand a year that he's going to receive as a member of the House of Representatives, and it is what it is. So there you go. It sucks, and it's just another way that Washington can always screw us, regardless of political affiliation. So it is what it is. Thanks for watching, and y'all have a good day. Take it easy.